Mr Nuttall for Europe of Freedom and Democracy.
Mr President, my father is a small businessman. He owns an electrical company, and he was only given the opportunity to set up this company due to the tax breaks and the opportunities given to him by the Conservative Prime Minister and true Eurosceptic Margaret Thatcher back in the 1980s. Like all small businessmen, he is overburdened with red tape and regulation, much of it emanating from this place, the European Parliament. My father's small business remains small. However, these kinds of businesses are the bedrock of the British economy, and they amount to a staggering 73% of all businesses in the UK. My father drives a van, and like many small businesses, he is struggling due to the recession. I have a grave concern that this legislation will put small businesses like my father's out of business forever, because we are told that this legislation will in fact put up to €5,000 on the price of vans. Small businessmen can ill afford this cost at a time of economic strife. The gentleman from the Socialists over there said that this is a good day for climate change policy in the EU. However, if this goes through, I guarantee it will be a bad day for small businessmen across the continent. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a blue card from Mr Davies. Are you willing to accept it, Mr Nuttall? Okay, go ahead, Mr Davies.
Thank you, President. Why does the honourable gentleman not understand that this measure is designed to improve the fuel efficiency of light commercial vehicles? That means reducing the costs of driving them mile by mile at a time when fuel prices are at record high. This helps businesses, not hinders them.
Mr Nuttall.
Well, again, this place shows absolutely no knowledge of what goes on in the real world. People are struggling out there, and what this legislation does, and it has been made quite clear to us, it will put up the cost of small vans which are driven by many small businessmen across the continent. It will put it up by €5,000 at least. This is totally and utterly wrong, and it is something that we can ill afford in a time of recession. Thank you.
Mr Davies, we have a blue card from Mr Nuttall this time.
Well, I thought I'd keep up our joust, but does the right honourable gentleman really think that it is correct to vote for legislation that will in effect, and it will, and you know it will, and I know it will, push up the cost of vehicles, and in effect what he will be doing is putting out of business small businesses in Liverpool and Manchester in his own constituency? Does he think that is fair, and does he think it is morally correct, and is he prepared to stand on that in the elections in 3 years' time?
Actually, the UK government, the Department for Transport, undertook an assessment of the effects upon this measure. It found they were likely to be more beneficial to business than even the Commission had estimated. The net savings of running a vehicle when fuel prices are at record highs are greater than any potential increase in the cost of the vehicles. Net savings for business, cheaper prices for consumers. And that is what the UK Independence Party is so determined to fight against. You want business to pay more than they need.